And that's why, with all the attention that they're seeking, it's hard for them to find a suitable mate in the dating market, because they're so, especially, don't let her be attractive, right? Have a nice body. She's going to be all in on trying to chase a rapper, chase an athlete. Like, you look at all the dudes she's dated, they rappers and athletes, right? That mindset is not going to change until she gets to a point to where those guys only see her, as an object to have relations with, Once she gets to that point and she realizes that they'll never want to wife her up and marry her or be in a long-term relationship, I think that's when you see these women turn the corner, like a Delicious. Delicious all of a sudden wants to be somebody's wife after a while, after being, single. I mean, she's dated in between. I believe she was married before. I'm not quite sure, but it's only when they've approached that wall and they realize they're getting older and they're not getting any younger, that's when all of a sudden they want to go up a level and say they want to be married and be in a long-term relationship. But you gave your best years to men that didn't want you like that. And women need to understand that, a lot of men in the dating market who have value, if they're looking to wife up somebody, they're looking to wife up a woman who still has a high drive to have relations with. Also, they want a woman who has a youthfulness about her, who is not stuck in her ways, who can be adventurous, who still has some things that she wants to learn that you can maybe teach her. A lot of guys, it's going to be very rare that the guys of value who are, let's say, older are going to be seeking one of these thoughts to be in a relationship with like that, and they don't understand it until it's too late. They really don't. This is why you're seeing a Bernice Burgos being basically a side chick to T.I., even though T.I. claimed, would say that, I was broken up with Tiny, but the dude is still with Tiny. He ain't never leaving Tiny. And I may do a video on that too. T.I. is never leaving Tiny. Okay. Any woman that deals with T.I. while he's with Tiny, either they understand that or they are being very naive. Because T.I. is still dealing with other women, still getting caught up with other women. There's been 3 women that he's been caught up with over the last 2 years. Tiny, the only person Tiny's been attached to was Floyd, and I don't think she's denied that. But again, I don't think Floyd was looking for anything other than a situation where they're probably sleeping together, But women like Bernice Burgos, who's been in the spotlight, who's been in her prime, who still has her looks, body, whatnot, but these young rappers and athletes aren't looking in her direction like that. And she knows this. This is why she's kind of faded. She did date Drake like a lot of these other women did, like your Melissa Fords and her friend dated Drake when he was up and coming. But a lot of these young rappers and athletes are not looking to date a Bernice Burgos, even though she would desperately want them to. But they're not looking in her direction. So when women get to that point, that's when you'll probably start to see them realize that they should have, in their prime, scored the bag. Okay? But now into what's going on with Instagram Live, right? I'm seeing the thizzot come out of a lot of women, man. Like the woman twerking in front of her young one and grandmother. Then you got the DJ Duffy chick twerking and that, showing bare assets on IG Live to impress, Tory Lanez and these guys and the people watching. We are in a different day and age, and men adapt. I think a lot of women are adapting, but they're not adapting as quickly as men are, because if you have women doing the things that they're doing on Instagram Live, I mean, even Facebook Live, even YouTube too. A lot of guys are going to see it for what it is, and they're going to treat you accordingly. They're going to treat you the way you want to be treated. It's as simple as that. They're going to put all of you in the same category. They're not going to see you any differently. This is why it's very, a lot of you chicks, man, if you feel like these women are harming your reputations as women, you need to say something. Don't just sit in the background while we the ones as men point out certain things and we take the criticism and y'all just sit back and you may pat us on the shoulder and say, good job. Y'all got to speak out too. No, they're not taking down the Instagram live. I think they said that Instagram has warned Boosie. But is that going to do anything? Are they really going to, take their accounts down? These dudes will complain all day long. What's going on, Ms. Holmes? Make sure y'all like the stream. They'll probably complain all day long. I think women need to adapt as well, and they need to be honest with themselves, man. You got women, man, that will get engaged, but they really don't want to be married. They just like the pomp and circumstance of wearing a wedding ring or an engagement ring and being able to show it off and be able to plan for the wedding. But what happens after, you go through all that, you get married, and then now, you do the honeymoon. Now you have to deal with life as a married woman. There are a lot of women that they ain't built for that. They're not built for marriage, and those women who aren't are the ones who are out here clogging up the dating market, claiming that they want to be married when they know they don't. They know they don't. They don't want to be married. They want to be single and free. They want to be themselves. They want to be on Instagram Live, dancing for Boosie and Tory Lanez and whoever. That's what they want to do. That is their nature. A lot of women, man, they got that inner, thought in them. They want to unleash it. And you're seeing them unleash it. But they want to be thought of, as wholesome when they're really not. They're really not wholesome. But they want to be thought of as wholesome. They want to be thought of in good terms. So we really got to really look at where we are in society. Listen, I'm not telling women what they can't do. I'm not approved. But if you want to be a slower, be a slower, man. Don't just embrace it. Don't try to act like you want to be a housewife and a thought at the same time. If you want to be that behind closed doors, because again, if you're struggling to date, all you have to do is look at your fellow sisters on Instagram Live who are willing to do whatever it takes to get some likes, to get some shares, to get people to follow them, to get people to talk about them. You need to look in their direction. They're the ones who are making you look bad, not us as content creators. We're not making you look bad. We're only pointing out what y'all are putting out there. It's as simple as that. They're the ones who are ruining your reputations. It's easy to point the finger at us and say that, we're wrong for pointing this out. But how are we wrong for pointing this out if you're not saying anything? We're pointing this out because you have women that don't understand why men treat them the way that they treat them. Why men only, when they approach, they only, are looking for a friends with benefits or a relationship where there's really no labels or any attachment. That's what we're saying. So once again, the attention seeking is at an all-time level with this quarantine. 2020 has been crazy so far, and we're only just getting into April. We're only just getting into April, man. Imagine what's going to happen midway through April. Everybody's quarantined. People are starting to lose it. You got chicks, twerking in front of their kids, man. When it looks like they're renting a room, but they have just enough internet to go live on Boosie's page or Tory Lanez's page just so they can get some followers and some attention. Do these chicks, let me tell y'all this. A lot of these women that y'all see on these pages, doing what they're doing, they have boyfriends, okay? If you were to speak to them outside of social media, I bet all of them got boyfriends. Some of them probably got husbands who are probably fans of Boosie and fans of Tory Lanez, and they allow their women to do this, and they wonder why they get cheated on. Shout out to Nine Nina Capone. Love your channel. Keep those great videos coming. Appreciate that. Nine Nina.
Love your channel and keep those great videos coming. Thanks.
Appreciate that. Salute to the people supporting. I love the fact that the ladies donate and they like what I speak about, you know? But we have to really look at the way society is. We're in this quarantine. Ain't no telling how long we'll be in it. I do think that by May, things will start to level out. The restrictions will be more limited. But people are already starting to lose it. You can tell. They're getting on these IG lives. And like I was saying, man, most of these women that are doing this, they're in relationships, okay? They're in flexible relationships. When I mean flexible relationships, that means that they're only as faithful as, the next guy that comes along, okay? So don't think that most of these women that are doing this on these Instagram lives are single. No, they're not. Most of these chicks are in relationships. I guarantee you they are in relationships. They have a whole boyfriend who's probably at work paying the bills, or, he driving her car while she's at home, sending him on errands while she hop on IG Live. He probably don't even know she got an IG Live. But at the chance of being able to speak to Boosie and to speak to Tory Lanez, man, you got groupie behavior come out of these women, man. I'm telling you, man, you got a chick that'll go from being a faithful, dutiful girlfriend. If she gets around one of these rappers or one of these athletes, man, you're going to see the true nature of the woman that you're sharing a life with. I'm telling you.